स्वामिन् नमस्ते नतलोकबन्धो कारुण्यसिन्धो पतितं भवाब्धौ मामुद्धरात्मीयकटाक्षदृष्ट्या ऋज्व्यातिकारुण्य सुधाभिवृष्ट्या स्वामिन् नमस्ते स्वामिन् नमस्ते स्वामिन् नमस्ते स्वामिन् नमस्ते। ज्ञानस्वरूपं निजभावयुक्तं आनन्दमानन्दकरं प्रसन्नं योगीन्द्रमीड्यं भवरोगवैद्यं श्रीमद्गुरुं नित्यमहं नमामि श्रीमद्गुरुं नित्यमहं नमामि। नित्याय सत्याय चिदात्मकाय नव्याय भव्याय परात्पराय शुद्धाय बुद्धाय निरञ्जनाय नमोऽस्तु नित्यं गुरुशेखराय नमोऽस्तु नित्यं गुरुशेखराय नमोऽस्तु नित्यं गुरुशेखराय। जय गुरु, जय गुरु, जय गुरु। Today is 14th November 2025. We have come to Malaysia along with Swamiji for the annual Jnana Yajna here. We have come to our own center, Society for Inner Resources Development. I have been recording the Prabhata Rashmih articles, reading them and making some explanations for some time. And many of you had felt those were very useful. It's a long time since I could do the recordings, but finding some time here, I thought of recording some of the Prabhata Rashmih articles. So I'm back to the Prabhata Rashmih recordings, volume 1, and this is the 21st article in volume 1. This Prabhata Rashmih talk, the Prabhata Rashmih talks, as you know, Swamiji talks to all of us who assemble in the morning to offer our pranams to Poojya Swamiji. We offer our pranams along with offering flowers and chanting the Guru Stotras. After everything is over, Poojya Swamiji talks for some time, 10 to 15 minutes. So this talk was on 29th April 1998. And the talk was on Ahankara and Mamata, how to get rid of them. Ahankara and Mamata. Many of you must be knowing the shloka, Prajahati yada kaman sarvan partha manogatan. No, not that. Sorry. Vihaya kaman yas sarvan pumams charati nisprihaha nirmamo nirahankaraha sa shanti madhigacchati. The shloka in second chapter of Bhagavad Gita, where Krishna is telling Arjuna this sloka, that sloka number 71. Vihaya kaman yas sarvan pumams charati nisprihaha nirmamo nirahankaraha sa shanti madhigacchati. Krishna is telling Arjuna about that person who, having left all desires, lives and moves freed from all cravings, possessiveness, and ego. He attains peace. So what is he saying? Krishna, having advised Arjuna who was very, very depressed at that time, having made preparations, doing many austerities, having gained many weapons through austerities, who had prepared for this war against adharma, against the Kauravas. When his chariot was placed by Krishna in the midst of the soldiers, on one side the Kauravas, one side his own side, the Pandavas. Seeing the Kauravas and seeing especially his grandfather and his teacher Dronacharya, Bhishma and Dronacharya, and also many of the relatives and friends, he suddenly became very, very grief-stricken, depressed. He said, how can I kill all of them? And as you know, his voice was trembling, his mouth got dried up, he had no strength in his body. He simply sat down. His bow and arrow fell from his hand. That is a time when he had asked Krishna that I do not know what is the best for me to do. So, as a disciple, I am asking you, whatever is the best, please advise me. And Krishna had started advising. Now, Krishna initially told him about the soul, that this body is perishable and the soul is imperishable. The body is mortal and the soul is immortal. And he spoke about it. That is the second chapter. And at the end of the second chapter, Krishna tells Arjuna this sloka that, my dear Arjuna, a person who has left all his desires and he moves about, leaving desires, leaving possessiveness and ego, he is the one who attains peace. So these are the words. Vihaya kaman. Kama is the desire. And he moves about with nisprihata, that is without all cravings. He is nirmamaha, that is he has no possessiveness. And also he is nirahankaraha, he is also without ego. That person will attain peace. All of us, we want peace. I think everybody, whether one is young or old, whether one is poor or rich, whether one is educated, uneducated, everybody wants peace in life. So Krishna is telling how one can have peace. Don't have desires, undue desires. And one should not have possessiveness. What is this possessiveness? We know that whatever we think as ours, we consider this body to be the I, which is not so. Because the body changes and the I, the soul, is unchanging. But we mistakenly identify ourselves with this changeful body, and whatever we consider to be belonging to us, we consider those to be mine. And we feel a sense of possessiveness, attachment towards all the things that we feel belongs to me. So that possessiveness has to be removed, renounced. Nirmamaha. One should become nirmamaha. Now we have got so many things. We are in a family. People will have parents, brothers and sisters, then once married, wife and children. Friends will be there, colleagues will be there. And we feel some kind of association with them. Now, what Krishna is saying is that do not have undue possessiveness by which you are affected by sukha and dukkha. So one should become nirmamaha and nirahankaraha. What is that? I am this, I am that, I have education, I have a house, I have a car, or I can do this, I am very strong, I am very well qualified. All this I-ness about oneself, one should not have. That is nirahankaraha, the ego of the ego, that I am this. And now when we say like this, what it is exactly? Our real identity, the self or the soul, which is the actual I, that has no attribute. When attributes are there, the attributes are all changing. The soul or the I is not changing. So the attributes cannot be the soul's attributes. The soul's attribute, if you can say, it is niranjanaha. There is no taint in the I. Nirakaraha. It has no form. This is how the attributes of the self is told. It is not this, it is not this. Whenever we are giving some characteristics or qualities to something, we give to the body, mind, etc. Intelligence. So we say that I am intelligent. That characteristic or the quality is given to the changeful intelligence. Similarly, any other quality or attribute is given to the body, mind, intelligence, ego, etc., which are changeful. So when it says one should not have ego, I am this, I am that, all this thought should be over. Because when we say like that, how long? Suppose one in his youthful days will be very strong, can do many things. But as the age advances, all that will change. Similarly, whether one is very intelligent, thoughtful, all that changes with time. It doesn't stay. So, only because these changes are happening, our mind also undergoes sukha and dukkha. To be peaceful, we have to be beyond all that. So that is why Krishna is saying that neither have mamatā, that is possessiveness, nor have ego for anything, do not have particularly desires for anything. In that case, even though you move about in this world, in the midst of all kinds of objects, you will still have peace of mind. We do not have peace of mind because we always want something, always want and always feel that we do not have this, so we must get. That takes away our peace. But when we do not desire anything, we feel that we are contented. We do not have any kind of possessiveness also. When possessiveness is there, whatever we feel that it is ours, we feel that it will be lost, or it will be taken away, or it will not act according to my wishes. If it is an object, we can think that, oh, this belongs to me, this object belongs to me, say wealth belongs to me, or property belongs to me. Then we will feel that, oh, I have this, I may lose it, or it may be taken away by somebody, or it may break down. Similarly, for people whom we consider belonging to us, we may feel, oh, that person may die, that person may not behave in the manner that I want. So whenever possessiveness is there, that I feel that there is something belonging to me, then the mind undergoes suffering. Mind undergoes happiness and unhappiness. So this is what this sloka says. So we were in Prabhata Rashmih. So Ahankara and Mamata. I came back to this sloka because this whole article, the topic has been given as Ahankara and Mamata, how to get rid of them. Once we have Ahankara and Mamata, that is possessiveness and ego, we suffer. As I was giving the example of, say, wealth and property. Ego also I explained. If I feel that I am very, very strong or I am very educated, when I feel I am strong, there will be many days when I am strong, but there will come a time with which time the body will become older. You may not have that much strength as you had. So the mind will start feeling a sense of loss, sometimes sense of worry that, oh, whatever I could do earlier, I'm not able to do now. Many people suffer from that. I've seen people who are suffering only because they feel that, oh, I could do this earlier, I could do that earlier, now I'm not able to do anything. So they are not able to reconcile to the fact that all these possessions, whatever I felt or I felt possessive about, or whatever one felt egoistic about, that I have this, what happens? They all keep on changing. So how to get rid of them? So the cause of our suffering, cause of our ashanti is what? What we want to hold on to, they will not remain with us. Because life is transient, life is constantly changing. And we want to hold on to certain things by which we feel we will be happy and peaceful. But the nature is such, neither we can hold on to anything, nor it will allow us to hold on to anything. So, ashanti, anxiety, all these develop in the mind. How to remove them? We must understand that life is transitory. We must understand that our real nature is what is nitya shashvata, that is eternal, changeless. So whatever we get, whatever we are having, whatever we are enjoying, it has to change. The change is the law of nature. So what does Swamiji say here? Let us see what Swamiji says. Because it is to become peaceful, it is absolutely necessary to be rid of ahankara and mamata. Ahankara is ego and mamata is, what is mamata? Possessiveness. Swamiji is saying, so I am reading now from the book. The book, as I told you, Prabhata Rashmih, 21st article, volume 1. Our life is one of continuous experience. The experience may be of the presence or the absence of something. Whether it is the presence that is experienced or the absence, it is an experience, no doubt. Suppose you experience that you don't exist. Even that is an experience. So there is no time at all in life without any experience. Swamiji first touches with this, that life is an experience. Either we have an experience of getting something, and that is something I have, is present with me, or the absence of something. There are two kinds of experiences. An experience that comes from an interaction and that which comes without interaction. Now, experiences generally we know it comes from interaction. That is, suppose I interact with somebody and the interaction has been very pleasant. So I had a pleasant interaction. Or we interact with somebody else where the interaction is not very pleasant. has been very argumentative. That will be that kind of interaction. So it has to be we have to interact with something to get the experiences, good or bad. Similarly, with any other object also. Suppose I'm holding something, I touch something, I may touch something which is very smooth, or it may be very rough and hard. So those are experiences. Very smooth thing gives a feeling of good feeling in our mind. Hard and rough things, we are not that very happy. So like this, always there is with another item, whether it is object, people, or anything else, we have to have another thing to have an interaction. When we say interaction, it means you as an individual interact with things other than yourself, naturally. Only when there is something different from me, I can interact with that. It can be objects, it can be people, it can be any kind of place that we go from one place to another. We see, we sometimes like, we sometimes do not like. But other than yourself, and this interaction produces an experience. But there are experiences where no interaction is involved at all. So no interaction is involved, but we get experiences. What are those? For example, in sleep, you don't interact with anything else. Similarly, samadhi is an experience involving no interaction. Sleep and samadhi, we don't come to know. Only when we get up, we say that, oh, we had a very pleasant feeling. We say that. But while it is on, we don't come to know anything. Normally, interactions are the very nature of life. The moment we wake up, we start interacting with the things other than ourselves through our five senses. As soon as we get up from sleep, in deep sleep, we did not know anything. We did not interact also. But when we get up, immediately our senses start interacting with the respective objects. Eyes will see, the nose will smell, the ear will hear, then taste, the tongue will taste, and the skin will get the sense of touch. So all this will happen. All interactions are with persons, places, or events. These interactions may have an external objective. Whether the objective is fulfilled or not, the interaction as well as the outcome will have a subjective impact. Whether these interactions may have an external objective, whether the objective is fulfilled or not, the interaction as well as the outcome will have a subjective impact. For any interaction, we always have a subjective impact. Say when we have an object to interact with. As I was saying, talking to somebody, it was a very pleasant talk or unpleasant talk. Ultimately, what are we experiencing? It is an experience of, we have experienced a person other than me talking to me very nicely. This is an experience. Ultimately, what is the experience? Ultimately, it is the experience of feeling happy by talking to a person, or not feeling happy if the person's interaction with me was not good. So subjectively, actually, it is a subjective experience of our good or bad, happiness or unhappiness. Whether the objective is fulfilled or not, the interaction as well as the outcome will have a subjective impact. It is how your mind takes to the outcome of the interaction, be it a success or a failure, that is of significance. So, what we can have with the interaction, what is happening? Happiness or unhappiness, feeling of success or failure, feeling of defeat or winning, all these kinds of feeling will be there by the interactions outside. How the mind takes to it, is of great importance. Our aim must be to get enriched subjectively with the result of every interaction, irrespective of the external result. Now, this is very important. So, we see that by the interaction, it can be happiness, unhappiness, it can be profit or loss, it can be favorable, unfavorable, it can be defeat or winning. So many things, success, failure, all this will happen. But our aim must be, so what happens in all these things, all the opposites that I told, ultimately it is, whether it is success or failure, if success, we feel happy. If failure, we feel unhappy. Ultimately it is two, sukha and dukkha, happiness or unhappiness. The subjective result is only these two. Aim should be, for any spiritual seeker, see, this happens to everybody in the world, every human being. The mind undergoes this. But remember that we are spiritual seekers, my dear children. I very often say, and my saying is not just saying to preach, I'm saying because I have myself followed it, practiced it. What first identity of any spiritual seeker should be that I am a spiritual seeker. I am a spiritual seeker. From the time we start having inclination towards spirituality, we start having a great joy or bliss in listening to spiritual messages, read, listen, do reflection, understand. That is where, treading on this path, our main identity should be I am a seeker of truth. I am a seeker of spiritual knowledge. So then our aim should be not to be the common mass of people, but to understand everything with our intelligence and mind. So what should be the aim? Our aim must be to get enriched subjectively with the result of every interaction, irrespective of the external result. So for a spiritual seeker, whether it is failure or success, whether it is profit or loss, whether it is happiness, unhappiness, good, bad, what should be the aim? Aim should be from that situation, gain enrichment. The mind should become more elevated, more lofty, more progressing towards the spiritual truth. And what is the spiritual truth? The spiritual truth is that both will be there in life. One must have samatva, that is, even-mindedness in every situation. One should not be unduly elated when things are very good according to your wishes. One should not be unduly depressed if you did not get success, you have failed in your endeavor. So, whatever may be the situation, the aim should be always, how the aim can always be that I should be subjectively enriched if we keep on reflecting on the aim, wanting the aim to be fulfilled in my life, see and analyze the situations where the attitude of one's own mind should be in focus. We should see that no, the mind is trying to be depressed when something has not happened according to my wish. I will not allow the mind to become depressed. Or something which has happened, which is according to your wish, you feel very, very happy and you are dancing. No, don't allow it to be unduly elated. Yes, it has happened. It could have been that I was not successful. So keep that balance. This subjective enrichment is gained by making every interaction produce a purifying and sublimating note in the mind. And how will this subjective enrichment will take place? When anything is happening, any interaction is happening, where we find how the process is, whatever is the result, we allow the mind to become pure and sublimated. Only when you ensure that throughout the day, whatever actions or reactions you have, there is a progressive enrichment and purification taking place in you, can you be considered a sadhaka. So, what is how Swamiji is explaining? Who is a sadhaka? Who is a seeker? This is not that only when we read it, we have to be focusing on our mind and attitude and intelligence. No. Throughout the day, whatever we are doing, whether we are thinking, whether we are talking, whether we are acting, interacting with somebody, our aim should be to remain even-minded subjectively, so that there is a purification felt in the mind. Why purification is not felt? When we are not trying to enrich the mind, when we are thinking that unless this result is had, I will be very depressed. That is, we are possessive about that outcome. So possessiveness should go. We should have that feeling that yes, I want this outcome. I know that whatever I am doing, if this particular outcome comes, I will be very happy, very satisfied and contented. But I should be ready that it does not happen also. Because we cannot say anishtamishtam mishram cha trividha karmana phalam. Whatever actions we do, either the result will be something which we don't like or which we like. That is anishtam, ishtam and mishram. Mishram is, it can be in between somewhere. So, keeping all this in mind, we should look at every interaction, every action, so that subjectively we are ornamented with this equal vision. And what happens? The mind will become pure, sublime, and it will lead one to enrichment. What is enrichment? What is enrichment? See, when people get money, wealth, property, we say people are rich. And those who do not have, we say they are poor. That is, when you have some kind of prosperity or wealth, you are called rich. What is the mind's enrichment? Mind's enrichment are the wonderful qualities which will make the mind calm, peaceful, fearless, unaffected. These qualities. So what is this enrichment word that is being used? When we progress towards that is gaining the qualities by which we will remain peaceful, we will remain unaffected, we will remain very calm and tranquil, poised, fearless. Those qualities, when we are actually gaining enrichment. To whatever extent we get, we become richer by that extent. So, once one is able to have these, whatever actions and reactions we have throughout the day, there is a progressive enrichment and purification taking place in you. Can you be considered a sadhaka? Only then, when there is an aim and an effort to be like that, then only we can be called a sadhaka. The extent to which you are able to remain equal, able to accept favorable and unfavorable outcomes with equanimity, will depend on the purity of the mind. How pure is the mind? To that extent, one will be able to have equanimity towards the outcome and will have acceptance towards favorable or unfavorable. The mind should constantly watch the reactions, responses, and remind itself to guard against undue elation or depression with whatever you interact externally. When we interact externally, mind should be on guard, not to allow depression, not to allow undue elation, not to allow undue feeling of lowness or feeling of loss. This undue word is very, very, very important. Unduly we suffer. Yes, we will all, when we do some work, say some interaction is there or we are doing some activity, we all want that we get the outcome according to the plan, which will make us happy. But the mind should be absolutely ready to accept favorable outcomes or unfavorable outcomes. Absolutely ready to have some favorable interaction or not. Absolutely ready to have equanimity towards what the outcome comes. And to do that, one must have purity of the mind. And how will purity of the mind set in? One has to be very, very alert to one's responses, attitudes, and all that. Suppose there is some interaction or something, some activity that I have decided to do this. And we want a particular result. We should be very alert to the reactions while the activity is going on, while it is over, how the mind is responding. Is the mind becoming very hopeless, or is the mind becoming too much hopeful? Is the mind wanting that somehow or other I must get this? So this giving attention to one's responses and reactions is very, very important. Only when we can see the mind's responses, the intelligence can give direction to the mind to remain in equanimity. Ultimately, it comes to a question of ahankara and mamata. Ahankara is ego and mamata is mindness or possessiveness. Externally, this ahankara and mamata may have relevance to persons, places, or events. But ahankara and mamata can work even with regard to subjective factors. So ahankara and mamata, as I described earlier, it can have some kind of relevance according to with the external objects. We feel that these things belong to me or I am responsible for these things. So we will have some kind of ahankara for that. A mamata for that, the possessiveness. But it may also have that there is no object as such, but the mamata is playing its role just subjectively. Ahankara and mamata can work even with regard to subjective factors about your birth and lineage, position in life, achievements in life, etc. That is, we may have ahankara, that is ego, about something which we possess, that I am so rich, I've got 4 cars. Or possessiveness, oh, these people are mine. They should listen to what I say. They should act according to my orders. or this thing belongs to me, nobody should touch it, nobody should drive this car because they will not take care of it as I do. So that is possessiveness. Now, how does ahankara and mamata also come in without any external object? One may have ahankara, that is ego, with, or mamata also, with regard to subjective factors like about your birth and lineage. Many people have, oh, I have been born in that kind of a lineage, that kind of a family. I am born very well and a very respectable family, like that. Or one may have mamata and ahankara regarding the position in life, what we are. Oh, I am in this kind of such a big position in my office. So that ego is also there, and possessiveness about the position also is there. So, like that, achievements in life. A disciple may have an ego that he is very close to the Guru, and the Guru will listen to whatever he says. Even in spiritual sphere, who cannot be talking of having houses, cars, property, wealth, qualification, because one who renounces and comes to the Guru, they don't have all these things. They renounce and then come. But still, subjectively, ahankara and mamata may grow because he may feel that I am the one very close to the Guru. My word, if I say something to the Guru, Swamiji, my Guru listens to. listens to. These are the ahankara and mamata in such cases. Mamata can be with regard to anything, towards the married partner, children, parents, and the like. The mamata. Mamata can be with anybody, towards the married partner, children, parents, etc. Mamata fostered to anything is bad. Mamata fostered to anything, that these are mine, these are mine. Those things which are mine, I try to hold on to, but they do not remain also. They behave in different manner. We do not say, the son is mine, a family is mine. Now, the son, as he grows, he is not listening to the father. So what is the use of that possessiveness? My son, my son. So the suffering is because my son is not listening to me, is not listening to my advice, and all these are happening. So because of the possessiveness towards the son, one starts feeling very, very helpless. So mamata can be with regard to anything, towards the married partner, children, parents, and the like. Mamata fostered to anything is bad. Why should there be mamata? So many words have been uttered by the mouth. Do you think the tongue has any mamata for the words? That's a very good example. Swamiji is saying that why should there be mamata? The tongue is constantly talking, but will the tongue have any mamata towards the words that it has talked? Does it hold on to them or allows it to go? How do we get rid of ahankara and mamata? It is called ego elimination or self-effacement. This point is very, very common in spiritual pursuit. In any spiritual pursuit, this is the last thing that one gets stuck with, to remove this I-ness from oneself. Even I am a seeker becomes one hurdle. It becomes one ahankara. I have heard one Swamiji in Rishikesh say that one who renounces, they also have an ego of renouncing. They feel, oh, I have renounced. And these householders, they have not been able to renounce. So they become egoistic by their renouncement. So everything has to be renounced. The I-ness itself, that I am this, I am that, and that is such a deep-rooted feeling in everybody that I am this, my name is this, my age is this, my house is here, I've got so many siblings, I have this much qualification, I am in this position, etc., 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 etc. It is so big. I have this family. So these are the ones which keep on troubling anybody and everybody, and it becomes a problem for the seekers. So ego elimination, self-effacement is most important for spiritual progress and fulfillment. Shantim adhigacchati. This fulfillment of gaining eternal peace. One should aim for that. And every seeker aims for that. So that has to be gained. It will take place successfully only when you live in the close proximity of the Guru. This is very important. Now, ego effacement has to happen. If you really feel that you want to progress in spiritual sadhana, ego effacement has to be there. Has to be there. That is, all the ego has to be dropped. And ultimately the ego of I am this. The ego of I am this body, including the body-mind complex, intelligence complex. Now, how can that happen? Swamiji says, it will happen very easily if one stays in the close proximity of the Guru. We have attachments to our possessions, and that makes us proud. We become proud and egoistic because of our possessions. Ego is a result of the various assumptions we make. Because that ego is a result. How does the ego get formed? Because we have various assumptions like I am educated, I am refined, I am cultured, I am of high lineage, I am a knower of truth, I am a sannyasin. See? So people have this kind of feeling. What kind of feeling? I am very educated, I am born here, I am so much educated, I am very cultured, etc., etc. As spiritual people, they may also feel, oh, I am a knower of truth, I am a sannyasin, I am a disciple of such and such very known Gurudev. All these are ego. All this should completely vanish from the mind. Any kind of ego is bad. Think well and deeply. Any kind of ego is bad. Do you agree to it? Any kind of ego. I am this, that. How long it will remain? Those who are in the high positions in very big corporates or other places, how long they will live? How long will they be sitting on that chair? When he retires and doesn't have any necessity to go to the office, even if he goes, will the other people give him the same respect? For some years, known people will still be there in the office, but after some years, will the new people know him, who he was, that he was once upon a time the head of the institution? Nobody will remember. So what is permanent here? Nothing is permanent. So why hold on to it? Why should we have possessiveness? If you were sure that these things will remain with me forever, then we can try. When we are sure that these things are not going to remain, then why become so egoistic with whatever God has given? Nothing in nature is under your control. So he's saying that, Swamiji is saying, any kind of ego is bad. Think well and deeply. What is there to be proud of? What is there to be proud of? How can one become proud? Just listen to this very carefully, my dear children. And you should read this portion again and again, again and again. All our sufferings are because we are egoistic. We hold on to things. So he's saying nothing in nature is under your control. Nothing has been created by you. Can you be proud of your own body? Swamiji is saying, can you be proud of your own body? Is anything under your control? Have you created anything? We have not created. Actually, we are staying in this creation. But we forget that we are part of this creation, created by somebody else whom we call sometimes Srishtikarta, sometimes some other name. But the fact is that we have been created. Our parents cannot create us. Yes, through them only we have come to the world, but they have not created us. The growth of the fetus inside the mother's womb is not by the wish of the parents. If that was so, we could choose whether there will be a boy or a girl. We could choose whether the child will have hair, lot of hair, flowing hair or not. We could choose the complexion of the child. We could have chosen the amount of intelligence the child will have. Nothing is in our hand. Nothing is in our hand. Somebody creates, and that is how every being comes about. So, nothing has been created by you. Can you be proud of your own body? It subsists on water, air, food, etc., Panchabhuta, none of which is your creation or under your control. Swamiji is saying that can you be even proud of your body? The body is made of Panchabhutas. Panchabhutas. What are the Panchabhuta? Agni, Vayu, water, earth and sky. These are the 5 elements. Everything is made out of these. So, even the body have we created? Have we used these things and made? Can you therefore be egoistic about it? It is all a delusion. Can you therefore be egoistic about it? It is all delusion. Get rid of this delusion, and for that be watchful, self-examining and introspective. This is a continuous effort in spiritual sadhana. So, Swamiji is making it very, very clear how to remove this possessiveness. How to remove? We can be possessive, we become possessive only when we feel that I have got this belongs to me and I have the sole control over it or sole right over it. This is how we move in the world. Everything that we consider ours, we feel that we have absolute right over it. But have we ever thought that the body that we have, along with the mind and intelligence, the body that we have we created it? Who has created it? Do we have any control over it? Do we have any control over how long about the body will last? Whether there will be disease or not? Where that person will be ultimately staying? Nothing we know. So, he says that you cannot be proud. Don't be proud. So, this last phase is the self-exclamation, the last phase that we have in this. We cannot have any kind of control over anything regarding our body, mind, intelligence. We do not have. So, that point that we are created by some power, that is the only truth. So how can we become egoistic about other things which we feel they belong to us? Those other things also has been created by somebody else. It's not our creation. Any object that we feel that belongs to us, whether it is a living being or not, they do not belong to us. They may be belonging to some kind of, the belonging to what we feel that these are belonging to me, we feel that these are belonging, but actually not. We cannot say that they belong to me. When we understand that, when we have that knowledge, then we will be having peace of mind. Since we are constantly thinking that this is I possess, I control, and the loss of all those things, not being able to hold on to those things, make us unpeaceful. So he says, can you therefore be egoistic about it? It is all a delusion. Get rid of this delusion, and for that be watchful, self-examining and introspective. This is a continuous effort in spiritual sadhana. So Swamiji is saying that one has to be watchful, self-examining. That is, watchful means be attentive how the mind is reacting. And self-examine. That is, as soon as you find that you are wrongly thinking, you are responsible for these things or these big things belong, your attitude is different. As soon as you understand that your mind is having a feeling of possessiveness towards that, correct it, correct it. That is watchful, self-examining and introspective. Examine your own mind, introspect deeply and see how the mind is behaving. In the pursuit of devotion, you undergo devotional interactions. It is to afford these interactions that you make use of an idol, an image, or any other representation of God and worship it. In devotion, when we have a devotional pursuit, then we undergo devotional interactions. What is that? We have either an image or an idol. We have got some items for doing puja, flowers, vessels, water, nivedyam, all those things. And then we worship. So we need something apart from us. We make use of an idol, an image, or any other representation of God and worship it. There is, however, a basic difference between interactions with the Guru and interactions with a representation of God. Now, we were talking about interactions, and we were talking about in this interaction, we should be always very watchful, self-examining, as well as introspective to find whether we are having mamatā and ego, that is possessiveness and ego towards the things with which we are interacting. It may not be sometimes outside objects, that this is my book, this is my car, this is my house, or this is my son. It can be just developing from inside, that I belong to this good family, I have a lot of education. Those are from getting generated. And then what Swamiji said, think well. Have you created anything? You have not created anything. Your body has not been created. It has been made of Panchabhutas. Similarly, the bodies of all others you have not created. It is created by nature out of Panchabhutas. So where is the ego? How is it that you are having ego and everything is transitory? So how can you have ego? Now Swamiji is saying how to get rid of it. One thing he has said, be very watchful, be very self-examining and introspective, and constantly tutor the mind. Point out, see, here you are making a mistake. Your attitude is different. This attitude should not be there. Nothing belongs to you. You cannot control anything. Apart from that, he made a sentence that to remove mamatā and ego, it will be easier if you are in the close proximity of the Guru. Now he is explaining that. We are worshipping an idol or image. But what happens is that the idol or image are not able to give us any correction or advice. So he is explaining that. He says that there is a basic difference between interactions with the Guru and interactions with the representation of God. All our interactions with God are unilateral. When we worship, it is unilateral. We have got pictures or murtis, that is idols, and we worship unilateral. We may pray, we may chant, we may tell our sorrows, we may tell our happinesses, everything. But the image of God or the murti of God is not able to tell us anything in reply. The interaction is unilateral. God remains an invisible, imaginary entity. God still remains invisible and imaginary. But the living Guru has an interactive personality of his own. But when we go and worship a Guru, be near him, the living Guru has an interactive personality of his own. He can interact, he can talk, he can tell you his advices. This is the great advantage advantage. In interacting with God, you don't know what God has to say about you. But here, in interacting with the Guru will say whatever is required to bring the necessary sublimity in you, to institute the necessary corrections for spiritual growth. So when we are interacting with the idol, that is in the form of worship, the idol is not able to tell us anything. But when we are in the proximity of the Guru, it is a great advantage. Why? Because in interacting with the Guru will say whatever is required to bring the necessary corrections and sublimity, to institute the necessary corrections for spiritual growth. So whatever the Guru watches, whatever is the lack or deficiency in the disciple, the Guru will be talking about it, correcting them, advising them, suggesting things. The Guru is able to do that. For this to be fruitful, you must have proper receptivity and humility to take to your Guru's words. So, Guru will do that. What will he do? Whenever he will see that your actions, your interactions, your thought process is not with mamatā and with possessiveness, that is, all these things, interaction, action, thought processes, are having ego and possessiveness, he will try to explain the situation and correct you. But even if the Guru corrects, suppose the disciple is not receptive, does not take the Guru's word wholeheartedly, either he feels that, oh, this is not good for me, or it is not relevant to me, and does not practice them, then what will happen? So Swamiji is saying, for this to be fruitful, you must have proper receptivity and humility to take your Guru's words. There should be receptivity and humility to take to the Guru's words. It is not easy at all to have that receptivity and humility, to take everything that the Guru tells and work on it inside and become corrected, become sublimated, become pure, and ultimately gain enrichment is very difficult. All people cannot do it. If this two-way interaction can be made sweet, endearing, supportive, and enlightening, then the seeking will be all the more intensified and progressive. If with the Guru there is a very open, sweet discussion or interaction, which is enlightening, endearing, supportive, etc., then the seeking becomes more intensified and progressive. So how you take to your Guru, how you address your prayers to him, how much you depend upon him in your heart and mind, how fondly you are able to relate to him, all these will determine the progress and success of your sadhana. So, this is written in bold here in this. I'll go through it again. So, how you take to your Guru, that is, how much endearment is there with the Guru, how much close you become to the Guru, so that you can tell your heart openly to him without any hesitation, and you can be receptive of what he tells you also, not getting offended, not feeling that these are not relevant for me. How you address your prayers to him, how much you depend upon him, in your heart and mind, how fondly you are able to relate to him, all these will determine the progress and success of your sadhana. All these. Most people fail in this. Swamiji himself is saying, he has observed many disciples, he has observed many devotees, and this is his remark. Most people fail in this. Very recently also, there was an interaction with Swamiji, with a disciple, and it was found the same. The disciple is not able to take in what the Guru's suggestions are. And with each and everything, the disciple feels sometimes offended, sometimes humiliated, sometimes insulted, and they don't have any value for what the Guru is saying. Most people fail in this. This aspect of their failure can be seen even in their own domestic relationships. They show poverty to outlook, poverty of emotion, poverty of fondness, a poverty of quality. When devotion shifts from God to the Guru, it marks a great transition in the life of the devotee. When the devotion shifts from the idols and the images, but the devotion turns to the Guru, placing Guru, thinking the Guru to be all the gods and goddesses which one worshipped. That is, the Guru now represents everybody. When that happens, it marks a great transition in the life of the devotee. From then on, he becomes a seeker. His sole focus becomes the Guru. When that happens, then the devotee becomes a seeker. His whole focus becomes the Guru, the God-realized person. Because only from him he can know about God realization. And it is only through him that he himself can attain God realization. Shedding all preferences and prejudices, he fondly seeks the presence of the Guru and accepts his supremacy unconditionally. So, when that happens, when the devotion shifts from God to Guru, it marks a great transition. And for that person, he becomes then a seeker. His whole focus becomes the Guru. And this, who is the Guru? The God-realized person. He understands that only from this person who has realized God, I can be led to God realization. And shedding all preferences and prejudices, he fondly seeks the close association of the Guru, remaining absolutely receptive and absolutely humble. He starts understanding the supremacy of the Guru unconditionally. I'm remembering in this, I had written to Baba long back when I was so young that Baba is Diksha necessary, is a Guru necessary. Baba had written back to me that yes, in every sphere of learning, every subject you have to learn under a teacher. So this is the supreme Vidya, Brahma Vidya. To know this also, a teacher is definitely necessary. And he also added that when you consider somebody as the Guru, then ahaṅkāra becomes sublimated. At that time I was young, I did not understand much, but I gave a great value. I thought, Guru is saying, so it has a value. Understood that how this ahaṅkāra becomes sublimated and becomes, he had written, the ahaṅkāra becomes crushed. So if we give a supremacy towards the Guru, understanding that he knows much better than I do, then only one can receive what the Guru has said. Okay.
Sampurnam Jagadevanandanavanam Sarvepi Kalpadrumaah Gangam Vari Samastavari Nibaha Punya Samasta Kriya Vacha Prakrita Samskrita Shruti Shiro Varanasi Medini Sarvavasthitirasya Vastu Vishaya Drishti Parabrahmani Sarvavasthitirasya Vastu Vishaya Drishti Parabrahmani. Jai Guru, Jai Guru.